William Samoei Ruto, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, and the United Democratic Alliance Party leader, has already created his strategy team for 2022. But that team is missing a segment from the larger Mt Kenya region. None of the members of parliament from the Mt Kenya region is in that team. In this video today, I want us to look at possible reasons why William Samoei Ruto opted to lock out his allies from the larger Mt Kenya region from his strategy team. But before we do that, if you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Now, 2 days ago, a gentleman by the name Polycarp Hinga made a post on his Facebook page that Mt Kenya MPs who flank William Samoei Ruto now believe that they are being used for tokenism and for photo ops only. And he went further to explain that some of these members of parliament were actually very bitter that they have been excluded. But let us understand how politics plays out. Politics is about interest, and those interests are personal. And I want to take you back to an interview which William Samoei Ruto had on Citizen TV. During that interview, William Ruto talked of two key individuals around the president who are giving him a lot of problems. One of the individuals was David Murathe. He talked negatively against David Murathe. In fact, at some point, I was listening to the deputy president, and it was like David Murathe can even attend a TV show drunk. And then he also talked of Rafael Tuju. These two gentlemen the deputy president talked about are very close allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta. And there is nothing you can do about it. David Murathe is one of the close allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta. In fact, when Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to run for the presidency, he crafted a team. And that team included several people. One of them was David Murathe. Then there was Justin Muturi, who is the current speaker of the National Assembly. And that's why even after the last election, William Ruto could not interfere with Justin Muturi as the speaker. Then there was Nancy Gitau. For those who follow politics in this country, the deputy president and his allies, like Oscar Sudi, have always been very bitter with Nancy Gitau. So Nancy Gitau was part of the strategy team. And then there was Alfred Gitonga. And then there was George Muhoho. So that's the team which crafted President Uhuru Kenyatta's strategy. During that time, William Samoei Ruto also had his strategy team. William Ruto's strategy team had Isaac Ruto. For those who remember, Isaac Ruto was then the member of parliament for Chepalungu, and I think he was also a cabinet minister. It also had Charles Keter, the guy who became the senator for Kericho, and immediately he was declared, the deputy president asked him or prevailed upon him to resign. So Charles Keter was also part of William Ruto's strategy team. Then there was Aden Duale, who was one of the key strategy team members in William Samoei Ruto's camp. And then there was also the former speaker, Francis Ole Kaparo. So strategy teams are always very key. And whenever any key political player is forming his strategy team, they must consider several factors. And this is why probably William Samoei Ruto decided not to include the members of parliament from the larger Mt Kenya region as part of his strategy team. And many of these guys strongly believe that they hold key to William Ruto's success in 2022 or even so far. But why do you think William Ruto, in his own wisdom, decided not to include some of these people, members of parliament from the larger Mt Kenya region, as part of his strategy? Remember, when we are talking of strategy team, we are not just talking of strategy team. We are talking of the core team. Remember, there's always the main team, the final team. Like Ruto might have a bigger team outside here. Then that team is narrowed down further. There are several other teams, narrowed down until that final team. So that's the team which will always give the final verdict. For Raila Odinga, Oburu Odinga is always part of that team, because there is no way Oburu Odinga can betray Raila Amolo Odinga. No way. In Uhuru Kenyatta's side, David Murathe is always part of that team, because there is no way David Murathe can betray President Uhuru Kenyatta. But why do you think, if it's true that the deputy president has formed a team? Of course, he has several teams. There's even the team including the former Machakos Senator, Johnson Mudama, my friend Hassan Omar, Bonia Luale, Elido Walo. There's that team. And also, I know the deputy president also has another team. But this particular strategy team includes Nixon Korir, Caleb Kositany, Oscar Sudi, and I think 2 other gentlemen, majorly from the Rift Valley region. But why do you think he's leaving out Ndindi Nyoro out of this strategy team? Why do you think he's leaving out Kimani Ichung'wah out of this team? Why do you think Susan Kihika is not part of this team? Why do you think Alice Wahome is not part of this team? Why do you think he would do that? 4 reasons. Now, the first reason is to prevent leakages. One of the biggest challenges always politicians face is leakages of strategy. Today in this country, Dennis Itumbi is always able to access some of President Uhuru's strategies, even before they are out. He's also able to access some of Raila Odinga's strategies before they get out. Because the deputy president has invested heavily on information gathering and penetrated some of the strategist team. There is nothing as worse as what happened, for example, to President Uhuru Kenyatta when he appointed Irungu Kang'ata as the Senate Majority Whip. And because of his position, Irungu Kang'ata was able to attend key strategy meetings of the president. While he was doing that, he knew right in the back of his mind that he was working for William Samoei Ruto. And some of these strategies were actually geared towards frustrating and locking out the deputy president. So, anytime the president would meet to plan things, the next day or the next minute, he would brief the deputy president. So leakages, it meant anything the president was planning was being leaked out. So for the deputy president, I think there's a fear in his team that probably, if he's not careful, despite the fact that some of these guys have done so much for him, some of these people are with him, there's fear that they might actually leak. They might actually be the source of leakages in their camps. So that's number one. Number two, I think there's still a lot of mistrust between the deputy president and his core team and some of these members of parliament from the larger Mt Kenya region. I think what they are doing now, they are saying, despite the fact that Kimani Ichung'wah is our guy, despite the fact that Alice Wahome is our guy, but still They can betray us. So let us wait and see. Let us monitor. Let us have them in the bigger team. But for this strategy team, we are going to lock them out. Of course, you know, like when UDA was launched in Nakuru, already there were signs of mistrust. And that exercise had to stop. So probably I think, and I'm 100% certain, I'm 100% certain that there's still mistrust between William Ruto's key team, and members of parliament from the larger Mt Kenya region. They always say in this country that Kikuyus will always go back to their cocoon. So probably they're still waiting to see. Number 3, I think, is past experience. William Ruto has experienced a lot. He's been in politics, and he stated that very clearly during the interview, that he's been in politics, he understands a lot of things. And because of the past betrayals in this country, and because William Ruto himself has used some of these members of parliament to get information from the other side, he fears that because he's been able to use some of these members of parliament, these same members of parliament can also be used to gain access to information from him. And lastly, I think there's also lack of clear party structures within William Ruto's camp so far. And that can also lead to the mistrust. It can also lead to the leakages. And because still they don't have a clear party. In central Kenya, for example, Moses Kuria, who is one of his key allies, has his own political party. Alice Wahome is professing order. Ndindi Nyoro is professing order. But still, they're not coming out openly to support this political party. And because of lack of a clear party, which they can support, I think these guys are not giving anything to chance. I don't know what you think, but I think William Ruto is right. Sometimes it's important to lock out certain people, even if they add value, until you are so sure. Because politics is a dirty game, and in politics, the only thing which is constant is interest. Until up to now, William Ruto cannot be assured that having Alice Wahome, having Ndindi Nyoro, having even Moses Kuria, even Kimani Ichung'wah as part of his strategy is going to add value to him. I don't think that's the truth. The truth is he wants the presidency. So if any of these people cannot guarantee him that, then the best thing for him is to even work very closely with people, even if those people mean his close family members. Even President Uhuru Kenyatta works very closely with his family members. First, because those are the people who can't betray him. You go to Raila Odinga, very close family members. William Ruto must work with very close family members. If not, then he must work very closely with his tribesmen, because those are the only people who will be the last to betray him. I don't know what you think. Thank you, guys, and please, may you have a good day. But do you think the deputy president is in order to exclude his core support base from the larger Mt Kenya region from part of his strategy team? Do you think it's right? I want to read your answers, and I'm going to take the next 1 hour just reading and responding to your answers to that particular question. Thank you, guys, and please, may you have a good day.